the Ministry of Roads and Highways, the urban roads, they must also try as much as possible. They are also responsible, and I stand to be corrected. They are responsible in making sure that the faded lines are painted. Most of the drivers are telling me they want to stop, but the lines are faded. So what should they do? They don't see it.
So that's the excuse.
That's the excuse. And as we stand here right now, I am helping them. There's a zebra crossing line there, but the line is faded. And so there should be sort of regular checks where the authorities will visit the township to see whether some of the lines are faded. And they fit it. I visited them myself, and what I was told was that they don't have the funding for it. But human lives, people are dying on the street. I drive myself, and anytime that I get to the point where the zebra crossing is, I stop and I see a lot of drivers shouting at me and asking me why am I stopping. And I've been explaining it over and over again to tell them that, come on, there's a zebra crossing, like you need to stop. They keep insulting me. Some even go to the extent of asking me if I'm a zebra.
Really?
Absolutely. So it tells you that the education, I don't know how DVLA issue driving license to most of the drivers. And so, as an influencer in Ghana, or as a blogger in Ghana, I told myself from last year that entering into 2023, one of the projects that I would love to embark or advocate about is the respect for zebra crossing in Ghana.
Benfi aduasa na gesa ha sei no boso miensa bi acha boso miensa bi aka aboni pa ha they said ya ha sitia no omo the speed na eba.
Sometimes one will stop if they don't do this for other persons to stop her. Before you realize, then the motor pa. We have had several incidents here.
When it is in the night, there's no light reflecting on the road at all. So it is very, very, very difficult for pedestrians to cross, let alone the drivers to see that the zebra crossing even is here. No zebra crossing. Both sides. Every time we have people being knocked down by the cars. Every time.
When you try to cross without the assistance of, let's say, the traffic regulators, you find it very difficult. You can sometimes stand at least by 2 minutes. You try forcing some of the cars, they will not stop. They will still be on the top speed.
At the age of 8 years, no, not so problem.
When we get here, stopping of the cars is very difficult. They don't stop. When you are stopping them, they don't even mind when you are standing in the zebra crossing or not. They don't even care. They won't stop unless somebody stand in to stop them before they will stop. So we find it very difficult to cross the road when we get here.
Ye twem kura nipa timi bra ba ko agina na ba ko so e twem enti no ye bra wa ha pa me ya me hihim pa da bia me ne ni twem age se ya tem ansa na nipa be gina.
I almost got hit here. I was actually crossing and one of the trusky drivers actually stopped and he was trying to stop the other drivers in the other lane, and one of the trusky drivers actually he came behind him and then he bypassed. So I actually had to run. I was struggling to cross because I was really wearing a really tight skirt, so I was trying to cross, and he was coming. He saw me crossing, but he didn't make an attempt to stop. So it made me ask myself the question: who is responsible for making drivers, for ensuring drivers actually obey the zebra crossing laws? I just turned and looked at him, and he didn't even stop to say, "Oh, I'm sorry," or something like that, knowing very well this is a zebra crossing. If I didn't rush to cross, he was going to hit me, and probably I might be dead by now. I wouldn't be here to even talk to anyone.
I started, and it's been so phenomenal. I mean, coming here at different points where zebra crossing lines are, like you mentioned from a preamble, zebra crossing lines are supposed to stop them. But here is the case, or here lies the case that I've turned myself literally into a zebra crossing line, helping people, holding my red and green flag, helping people to cross. So I told myself that no, I need to use my platform as an influencer or a social media blogger to come to start the advocacy. So I started on social media with the hashtag respect zebra crossing, and I've seen people in the diaspora, Ghanaians in the diaspora, sending me videos upon videos about how it is done in the Western world. So I told myself that look, I can't maintain the campaign on social media. The people, the raw people, the drivers, most of them, as we speak, the trotro drivers and the taxi drivers, most of them are not on social media. So what can be done? So I told myself that look, let me now come to the streets. So last week, Friday, I was on the streets with some vibrant volunteers who decided to join me. We went to Circle, Kwame Nkrumah Circle, the Neoplan station, a lot of the stations, the VIP station, to advocate and to educate the drivers and the pedestrians about the usage of social media. And so what I do is that basically my day ends around 2-3, and that's where it's a rush hour where people close from work and school. So I come to stand at various places to help pedestrians to cross.
A traffic light is the utmost. We even wrote to the highways, some time ago, the Association for Traffic Light, but that has not been addressed. But I think if we can educate people that at least crossing from there is risky, it is better to cross from the zebra crossing. For now, that we don't have a traffic light, I think it will be better.
There was a 1 year overhead, and also over traffic, and 200 says traffic neso radar car betu miajina, and nipano, you betu miachuma, cano, and boys and you.
No, Coswana, no, you're doing some traffic lights, and Quebec boy a pa.
First, like a traffic light to has by you, and sign so you see and so and so. It's no Quebec car. It's Minya, the BBC say sign now. And I said traffic light, go to my boy because can't power pa.
Ghana from penny so my boy. Na bibia nya kama said the mlanti atu on we see was or more boy. I'm so move be ya na fine.
If some law we have to pass, a law in order to criminalize people who are not able to wait for passengers to use the zebra crossing. I think it will help eradicate all those things.
Yanya zebra crossing, we be painting zebra crossing be my anka be boa.
So zebra crossing here ya pa anti extra pan. So ba baby bia fa ho amaye no ho ane ade ehia ye. Oye bibi fa ho ma ya ebe ye de pa even kra eko school na omo pon na omo twam a ense da nya easy sa.
Well, I think that going forward probably more education, telling people about the reasons why there are zebra crossings, because I'm sure most drivers don't even know.
I think they should repaint the zebra crossing, and they should bring maybe some police personnel or like anyone that can direct the traffic sometimes.
What these guys are doing is very, very well, and honestly, the government has to come in and help them out. If at the end of the month, give them something, it helps.
Just I married my name, she don't send me by me TTM. It's your problem, I don't know. More boy, anybody.
I actually think the regulatory bodies should come together and work as a unity, like form a unity, form a group, and work together to ensure that drivers actually obey the zebra crossing laws.
We need a pedestrian flyover crossing to help us.
This is not something that I am supposed to do. But like a media house, I've seen TV3 embark on a lot of projects. You as the media person, or we as media people, we form parts of governance, the four arms of government. And so obviously what I can do is to start the advocacy. But to make it a sustainability, or to make sure that it is sustainable, it has got to do with the institutions that are responsible for fixing these problems. Number one, DVLA, they issue driving licenses to the people on the road, the drivers on the road. How are they issuing the licenses to them? Do our drivers go through the proper scrutiny, exercises, checks and balances to make sure that the licenses they are giving to them, they are fit for them to use cars on our highways or in town? So DVLA, and I think the Ministry of Roads and Highways, the urban roads, they must also try as much as possible. You know, they are also responsible, and I stand to be corrected, they are responsible in making sure that the faded lines are painted. Most of the drivers are telling me they want to stop, but the lines are faded. So what should they do? They don't see it.
So that's the excuse.
That's the excuse. And as we stand here right now, I am helping them. There's a zebra crossing line there, but the line is faded. And so there should be sort of regular checks where the authorities will visit the township to see whether some of the lines are faded. And they fix it. I visited them myself, and what I was told was that they don't have the funding for it. But human lives, people are dying on the street. Again, traffic lights. And lastly, I think that what I also say is that police, the Ghana police, what they are doing is very incredible. I see them arresting drivers who don't stop when the traffic light is on. They should use the same energy. Ghana policemen should use the same energy in arresting drivers who don't obey traffic light rules, to also arrest drivers who don't stop for pedestrians, school children, the aged, and the ordinary Ghanaian to stop. They must also arrest them. Once they start that exercise, I'm sure that they will also begin to stop anytime they see that point. So I am pleading also to our pedestrians, most of them, to what the drivers have been telling me is that when the pedestrians are crossing, they flex on the line. That is why you see people making phone calls, people trying to dance on a zebra crossing line, because they are in a rush. I mean, most of them want to go and load and come back. And you see most of the pedestrians, the education must also go to them. The pedestrians also don't know what a zebra crossing is. So for instance, you see this woman, this woman is supposed to use the zebra crossing line, but they are passing somewhere else, which is bad. When a car knocks you, now you can't blame anybody because you didn't use what you're supposed to use. And so I want to say a big thank you to TV3, the whole team, for coming on board to help me push this advocacy. And to other media houses, let's all join forces. And to our authorities, people are dying on the road. Because, I mean, surprisingly, when drivers are driving and they see animals, the shocking thing is that they stop. When you see animals, you stop because probably you don't want to damage your car. But when you see human beings, you don't want to stop. It's mind-busting. It's crazy. So Ghanaian drivers, pedestrians, let's respect human beings who are on our roads.